hide from it tonight. Don't begin to run.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back for another review with Joey in the Movies. I have another special guest here. It's been a while since you've seen him. You might know him from Big Brother 16, a fellow 10th placer, and also a fellow movie nerd. Is it safe to say, Hayden?
Yeah, movie fan. Yeah.
Movie fan? You're like, maybe not nerd. Yeah. Big movie fan. We have Hayden Voss. Hayden, how are you, man?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, thanks for having me for this. I'm really excited. Yeah, I definitely consider myself a movie fan. Maybe a movie nerd. Who knows? I guess we'll see today how much nerding we're able to do. So.
Yeah, so Hayden, like I said before, it's been a while since we've seen you. So if you just want to like give the fans just a little update on you, it's been like 10 years since your season, so.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
Not to date you.
Yeah, hey, I'm not that old, you know.
We're the same age. Just for everyone.
I'm 32. How old are you?
I'm 32, yeah.
Exactly the same age.
Yeah, I got on the show late. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I got on early then.
Yeah.
Yeah, kindred spirits, man. I guess, like you said. No, what am I up to now? What am I up to the last 10 years? Man, good question. Well, I'm a fitness trainer by trade, I guess. That's my job. And then I would say that's also probably like my hobby and my passion. So fitness. I recently got married, so that's been a really nice, exciting life update for me. I live in Chicago. That's where I live now. What else? I love movies. I go to movies a lot. As far as Big Brother is related, the person who I probably like talk to and hang out like the most or like regularly, I guess, would be Andy Herron from the season before me. He lives in Chicago too, and he is talk about movie nerds. He's a movie nerd. I can say that with confidence. He is definitely a movie nerd. But we go to the movies a lot together, and so yeah, we're movie buddies. We like going to the theaters and all that. But yeah, that's I guess what's up to me. A lot of fitness and living in the Midwest, and life is good. Life is really good. But yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, and do you still watch Big Brother at all, or you don't really care about Big Brother now?
Maybe somewhere in between there.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched it. I didn't watch it before going on the show until I was like kind of in the casting process, and then I watched as much of it as I could to like study up and try and get myself familiar. And then after the show, I watched a little bit, and then I guess I kind of fell off. So I would consider myself still very much a fan of the show, but I don't avidly watch it. So I'm not too privy as to like what's going on currently with it. But, connecting with people like you and, I got to know Jazz and Jag a little bit as well. They came to Chicago. Yeah, which was so cool. And then a few other people from, like, the recent season. So, anyways, I try to, like connect with some people here and there, like, when I can. And, but anyways, yeah, so a little bit in between.
And last Big Brother question, have you ever met Hayden Voss?
No, I have not. I don't think I have. I'm trying to think of the rap party right after the show, but I don't think he was there. At least like for my season when I got off. But yeah, it is hilarious though, Hayden Voss. When I first got cast for the show, they were like, because I was studying up and watching as much as I could, and they're like, watch this season first, which I think it's season 12, which the one he was on, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I started with that one, and like the first thing that's in my face is Hayden Voss. I was like, "Whoa, this is weird." But maybe somehow like meant to be,
Right? Yeah. So thank you so much for that update. But we are here to talk about Marty Supreme, which just came out. It's all the rage right now. We were going to come on to talk about Primate. That was the original idea. But I think I was more into Primate than Hayden was.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to talk about Marty Supreme, but to briefly talk about Primate, I did really have fun with it for sure. But yeah, like it wasn't like personally my bag, and I just would feel bad if I were to say bad things about a movie. And I really don't have anything bad to say about it. I just didn't like it that much. But it got me thinking that, like, because I have a friend on Letterboxd who was just recently in his first ever movie, and
Oh wow.
which was really really cool to see that. And he, instead of a review, he basically just put in his review his whole experience with like how it came to be and everything. And he was talking about how like this movie took like 7 years to get off the ground. And then kind of in conjunction with that, I was reading a little bit after watching Marty Supreme. Obviously, kind of jumping a little bit here, but after watching Marty Supreme and then like reading about it a little bit and realizing that like Josh Safdie, it took him like 10 years to get Uncut Gems made. So I just, between those two things, I had this like huge realization, although I guess maybe I already knew it, that like making a movie is just so much work and it takes so long and so much effort. And so anyways, I would feel so bad if I like said anything bad about any movie, honestly. Because like you hear a story like this, you're like 7 years, like that's like it's like life's work kind of stuff,
No, I feel similarly to you in some ways, and I kind of try to be mindful of it when I'm on here because, like, when I got off of like Big Brother, for instance, whenever I saw like one negative comment about myself, I'd be like, "Oh, ow!" And like, I can only imagine how it feels to like you said, put 10 years of work into something, and then some jerks like, I didn't like it. This was lazy, or like whatever they have to say about it. Right? Like,
this sucks. Moving on. Like, yeah, no, it hurts. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, like a negative comment, negative DM, and you're like, it goes right into your soul, But anyways, I know this is a Marty Supreme chat, but I will say that I did have a lot of fun with Primate, and I am glad that you did too. So maybe we can chat about it more later for sure.
No, for sure, for sure. I'll be doing a separate review on that for anyone watching this. But Marty Supreme, what is your history with like the Safdie brothers films? How do you feel about their other work before we get into this film?
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, I'm still like, I guess, new to their catalog. I love Uncut Gems. I have also seen Good Time. I saw Good Time after Uncut Gems because I loved Uncut Gems, and I was like, oh my god, I need to go back and watch Good Time. And I know you love Good Time.
It's one of my favorites of all time, honestly.
Okay, all right, cool. So that's I mean, I feel like that for Uncut Gems, but other than that, I haven't watched any of their stuff because I looked even on Letterboxd. I have it like pulled up here too, but I mean, if I can find it. Anyways, like Daddy Longlegs is another one.
Daddy Longlegs is really good. It's not super easy to find though. A lot of their stuff isn't like super easy to find. So yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen that. So yeah, really, it's that. It's those three movies. I didn't see the Smashing Machine. Benny's movie, and so but I guess from what I've read from like someone that I know who reviewed it is they like the way they compared like Smashing Machine and Marty Supreme, because they both kind of came out from each brother in the same year, is that like the Smashing Machine was more of a risk, kind of like breaking the norm of their creative style, because I think like Good Time and Uncut Gems and Marty Supreme all have this very similar like style. It's almost like it's a style lock or something, And so from what I understand, like at least from this guy, is like the Smashing Machine was a bigger swing as far as like stepping out of the comfort zone. However, Marty Supreme is not stepping out of the comfort zone, but it's also just like done really well. But anyways, going back to your original question, Uncut Gems, I love it. That's like a top 10 for me. And I really like Good Time, but like I even though I watched it after Uncut Gems, it doesn't like, not all of it has stuck with me. So I can't even like fully remember just how much I liked it, Yeah. How, like, I guess I'm very curious to hear, like, why is Good Time like got such a high status for you? Like, what is it about it you love?
I think the storyline with the brothers really does it for me. The fact that, yes, he is doing all this horrible shit to like, it's all for like a good purpose in the end, and the way they wrap it all around. If you haven't seen Good Time, I'm spoiling it for you. But like the way they wrap it around at the end, like, with his brother, and he like finally like takes responsibility, like he's in the car like on his way out. Like there's just a part of the movie that feels very like personal and intimate in a way that Uncut Gems doesn't for me, even though Uncut Gems might be like more entertaining. Like I feel like Good Time just like kind of has like this heartfeltness for me that I really enjoy.
Yeah, it does seem like, maybe more heartfelt and also just like more raw. Like if I can remember correctly, Like, yeah, I think Uncut Gems maybe you could consider it like a more polished version.
Yeah.
Um, but I love the swagger of Uncut Gems. Like that's for me. Like I just think like like the jewelry and the sports and the gambling. Like it just feels so high stakes. Even though they're like worlds I'm not very interested in, like in real life.
Right.
But like in a movie setting, I was just like, I think maybe for a moment you kind of, if you're not someone who is like in the sports, jewelry, or gambling world, for a moment you're there and you're like, man, I feel like I have that swag right now.
Yeah,
You know?
and maybe that's what about it makes me like Good Time more, is because I'm like, oh, I could like be that guy. Where
Yeah,
like with Uncut
yeah,
Gems, like I could never be Howie. Like that's like
yeah,
that's not even close. Yeah.
yeah,
So Marty Supreme, for you guys who haven't seen it, is the story of Marty, who is in the 1950s. He is trying to make it as the greatest ping pong player in the world. He initially, in the first couple scenes of the movie, you think it's going to be all about ping pong. There's some really cool ping pong scenes at the beginning. He does not win at the beginning, and now is like seeking vengeance, and like completely crashes out when he loses too, which is like really funny. But the rest of the movie is like, in some ways it's about him trying to get to Japan to compete in this tournament, and then like it's very similar to life, where like you're trying to do one thing and then a bunch of other things come up that like you kind of have to put out fires and stuff like that along the way.
yeah. It is. That's I think it balances like this one like kind of bigger goal with like all these like little smaller objectives or like speed bumps. But I thought it was really interesting that way, and it is. Yeah, it's like to hear you say like it's kind of about ping pong, but it's not. Like I feel very similarly after watching it. Like the ping pong is almost just like a component of it. It's not the main thing. But man, it's a stressful movie for sure. Much like Good Time and Uncut Gems.
And all the, yeah, it's a very like spiritual sequel to those movies in a way, where it's like each movie is about a guy who is like fixated, like obsessed with like this one thing. Like for like Robert Pattinson's character in Good Time, he's trying to like have a better life. He's going to get money by any means necessary. Same thing kind of in Uncut Gems. So it's more specifically like about sports betting. And then this is like about ping pong. And it's about how all these individual characters ruin everyone else's lives in the pursuit of achieving their goals.
Yeah, they're all like in a sense they're like they could be related. Like in some alternate universe where they're all like in the same like timeline. They could all be like cousins.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
In the
they're all like
Safdie-verse or whatever.
yeah, exactly the Safdie multiverse. Yeah, they're all very selfish. They all have an incredible drive, which works for them and against them. Seemingly in these movies, like more so against them. But then the endings of them are all kind of different, which is really interesting. I think. Well, I guess I want to ask this first. Like, how much can we or should we give away? Like,
yeah,
is this is this a spoiler zone?
Yeah, we'll start light and then
Okay.
we'll start light and then we'll go like all in on it right now. So whatever thought you have right now, if you can hold the thought, and I'll let you
Yeah.
know
Okay.
when we're getting into it. But yeah, so and I feel like this movie posed a lot of questions for the viewers that I've seen, because there's been most people have really liked it, but the people who like dissent on it, who like don't like it, are, this character is obviously very immoral, right? Like he is not a good person by any means. Now, for me personally, I don't need that to like enjoy a movie. Where is like your stance on that? Like having a likable main character versus not?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think he's very unlikable. And like probably like really not very moral, but at the same time he has this like American drive. So I'm sure some people could relate to that part. But I think maybe it comes down to like because a character can be unlikable or they could be hateable or however you want to describe it, but like is their intent good? And I guess in my opinion, like I really don't think Marty's intent is good, like overall. And I mean, I think that's like, and that's not like detracting me from the movie. I really like the movie. But I think, for example, this is like, I feel a little bad because I feel like everything is just going to come back to a comparison to Uncut Gems. But it's like so hard not to, you know, because there's so many similarities between them, and obviously just like being the same person who made them, or, you know, one of them. And, but anyways, like, I feel like Howard's intent in Uncut Gems was good. He was also very unlikable, but I feel like he was like at his root, like trying to make his life better for not just him, but for like some of his other family members and everything too, and like for his shop. And like Marty, I don't think really was trying to make anybody's life better. Like,
Yeah.
I think he was just straight up focused on himself and this like one end goal of like being the best, you know, or like achieving, you know, this thing and or many other things along the way. So anyways, yeah, I don't think you need a likable character. I think it can be good to have an unlikable character. It's very like, it can draw you in fact. But yeah, I don't know. Marty really has like hardly any redeeming qualities.
No, and like, and we'll touch on it more. I feel like it was like the first time in one of their movies where the character was a little redeeming at the end. Like they kind of like won me back a little bit with like how that played out. But
Yeah.
like you said, for the most part, it's like you have these characters like Howie, Connie, who was Robert Pattinson's character in Good Time, who like if you ask them why they were doing what they were doing, they would be able to have like a moral explanation. Like they'd be like, he'd be like, I'm doing this to like get money for my brother because he's special needs. Even that might be your excuse, but like you're still probably like this guy even without this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it felt like with Marty Supreme, like he didn't even have that. He didn't even have like it was like, and if anything, it was more so what he would do with people is he'd be like, my greatness is so great that it's going to be okay. Like whatever you're worried about right now, you know, with Tyler the Creator when they crash the taxi cab, he's just like, don't worry, I got it. Like I'm gonna be a millionaire, and like this isn't even gonna be a big deal to you. Like, you know.
Yeah, he really, I mean, he has a boatload of confidence that is like really, I guess sometimes warranted, but like oftentimes not. You know, he has a hard time backing it up in many instances throughout the movie. But yeah, his intention is there, and yeah, but I think that's, I don't know, like that unlikable quality is really what drives the movie. Like I think he's weirdly a fun person to root for in that sense. You kind of feel bad for rooting for him, but like you kind of just like he's so confident that you're like, all right, I believe in him. You know, it forces you to feel that way, which is really interesting.
Yeah, he makes like decisions that no normal person would make. So you watching it in real time, you're just like, oh my gosh. There's a lot of great supporting roles as well, and it felt like every character, like supporting character, felt very like lived in and real, and like you kind of knew this person. Like the guy who he was like staying with, who was like making the ping pongs, he's like barely in the movie really, but like you feel like I've met a guy like this, like I know this guy, like, you know.
Yeah, you know, the supporting cast and just like the settings and the like the wardrobe, costume design, all that, pretty incredible. Yeah, like you're totally right, it all feels very real. It feels very lived in, like you said, which is amazing. You know that it's cool to see a movie like hit that real note so well. You know, I feel like oftentimes you kind of like are like, oh yeah, I'm watching a movie. Like you kind of have that moment where you like you realize you're watching a movie, but this movie I didn't really ever have that moment. Like you feel so there. Some of the people that they cast who are like so New York, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like you feel like you're in New York in 1950, or 1950s. It's incredible. So yeah, the casting great, the supporting cast great, the set pieces incredible. It was really cool.
And the Safdie brothers are like notorious for like just bringing people off the street and being like, here, you be in this movie, you know, because they have wrinkles on their face, like they have imperfections and everything like that. So like you said, when you're watching the movie, you're just like, this feels like some dude I could just meet off the street, you know?
Yeah. The guy, Abel Ferreira, is the like the guy with the dog in the movie, and
Yeah.
and like first of all, I was like, and I was kind of like, I mean, because they feel so real, like I feel like every supporting character, you're like, how do I know this guy? And like some you really don't. You just maybe have seen someone like who looks like them in New York or something. But afterwards, I like was like, what? And then I thought I recognized, and then I recognized his name, and then I was like, oh my God, this guy is like a very like accomplished director and actor. And
Oh my God.
I had, without realizing it, I had watched one of his movies like earlier this year, called Bad Lieutenant. I think from the 80s or something, maybe even before that. But anyways, he's directed a bunch of movies, and he's like a New York guy, through and through. I mean, he just looks like a New York guy, you know, like he's
He
so
was
hard.
great.
Like,
He's like,
yeah,
it's
so
hard to
good.
be that old and feeble and seem threatening. And he did like a
Yeah.
really good job. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, so gritty, you know. But anyways, yeah, like I had this moment where I was like, oh my God, this is a big person, you know, like this is not like some guy that they found on the street. This is like, I mean, this is a very accomplished New York director and actor, and that was very, very cool to like realize that and like kind of come back full circle on it. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen Bad Lieutenant, I honestly don't know like if I can recommend it. That's like much like his character in Marty Supreme, Bad Lieutenant, and I'm sure a lot of his other movies, if I could guess his style. I'm just assuming here, but they're gritty, man. They are so gritty, you know. So that was really cool though.
All right. So if you guys have not seen Marty Supreme yet, as you can tell, we both really liked it. So go out and see it. But we're going to move into the spoiler territory of the review. We're going to get into some of the more pertinent details. So now's the time to tune out. All right. Cool. You were warned. Yeah. I felt like this movie had a lot of ridiculous scenes in it, but like you were able to like it didn't feel too out of place. Like it still felt like grounded in that reality. Like when the bathtub just falls on that guy's arm, you're like, this is so fucking random and weird, but it felt like, yeah, like this is this universe.
It did. That felt very real. Yeah, there's a few scenes like that scene and like the gas station scene where it like blows up and catches on fire.
Like
You know,
these,
really-
there's literal bodies in the wake of this guy trying to become a ping pong player. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
you know, that is maybe a one part that I was like, okay, you know, because like, yeah, by the end of it, like he gets what he wants, right? Essentially. But yeah, like at what cost? Like people literally died. Like he could, and like people didn't just die. Like he even though he wasn't like directly a murderer, he was like, you know, he was associated with some murders. I guess he kind of is directly directly responsible for a couple of them. But yeah, like yeah, in real life, if this was real life, like he'd probably just be in prison.
That was back in the day where you could just do stuff like that, drive away and not get in trouble. Like that could like obviously never happen now.
Yeah,
That's what I
I
remember
guess so.
thinking like during this. I'm like, man, people just like murdered people and could like get away with it. Like yeah, it's insane.
I
Like,
guess so. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe that's how it just was. I don't know. But yeah, no, he's definitely responsible for some deaths.
yeah, and it's like I said before, it's like vaguely like a ping pong movie about him doing this, but then like by the end where they're like at that scene, I'm like, man, he hasn't practiced at all. like he
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
fucked, like you know.
That's true. Yeah, you know, I guess I didn't even really piece that together, but like, yeah, they don't show a ton of him like practicing in between all of these other crazy subplots that are happening in his life. So I guess you just have to assume that like, you know, being that it covers a pretty big stretch of time, that somewhere in there he's getting his practice in.
Yeah.
We just don't see that, you know?
Right, yeah. In between murdering a bunch of people by accident, he's just practicing with Tyler the Creator. That's
Yeah,
what- that's
exactly.
what
Yeah,
warning.
practicing. Yeah, in the warehouse.
Yeah, and he was great. Tyler the Creator was great as like this random friend who's like whose wife probably hates him. By the way, he says he has like all these kids at home. And he's always like hanging out with Marty playing ping pong and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That, you know, that scene where they hustle the people at the bowling alley was awesome. I thought that was really cool.
That was really good, and I like too that they just kind of like they just, like kind of stopped it abruptly. and then they like are driving like right away. Like you kind of don't see how it plays out. It kind of leaves it to
Yeah,
imagination a
yeah.
little bit. And
Yeah,
then
that
like
was good.
that sequence was so fun too with the dancing and everything. It was very like 1950s like vaudeville. It was like very like of its time. And just like I don't know, it was like eerie. Like like you were like I was like uplifted in a way with that scene that I haven't been in a movie in a while where I can remember just being
Yeah.
like viscerally like happy for them, you know?
Yeah, it is a very like upbeat scene. And I was thinking back on it too, because like the whole movie, well, like a lot of the like movie that has like a score is like this like synth score, and
Yeah.
and like that, I think that's kind of like the only scene that uses music like from that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't think of any other scene. I might just be forgetting that uses the actual like time frame music. Which is interesting. I wonder, like, I mean, if the point there is just to like, yeah, make it feel like this real in the moment joy, like you are there in 1950s. Because otherwise, yeah, it's this real like ethereal synth type stuff going
Which
on.
I'd be like curious to like ask him why he did that, because like the movie ends with a song from the 80s too, and it has that, and like you said, most of the music throughout it is kind of like Good Time, if you guys remember the soundtrack to that by Orthodox Point Never. It's like very like synth, like vapor wavy, like 80s like throwback type of stuff, which like doesn't really fit with the theme of the film, but it somehow works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they just like that style of music because that's also the style of music in Uncut Gems, like synthy, kind of like almost 80s esque. So like, I guess I have this assumption that they just like that kind of music for their movies. That like it gives it that certain like ambiguous like kind of you're lost in time and space kind of feel. But then I did see something. I don't know if it was from. I should have. I guess probably wrote it down. But like from either the sound person for the movie or someone who was interviewing them or something. Anyways, that the idea behind the 80s esque sound is that like the whole movie is kind of like trying to like be almost like from Marty's like viewpoint or like mindset in the future because his character is so focused on the future. So it's almost like you're in the 80s like looking back on his time in the 50s as he was trying to like make it, you know.
That's crazy.
It seems like a bit of a stretch. I don't know. I get the assumption. I'm under the assumption that they just like that kind of music and that like
Yeah.
you know, and they just like think it makes their movies look or sound cool, which I agree. So
It works, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that sequence probably with like the hustling, and then they kill them at the gas station. I think that one, and then the sequence where he's getting arrested, and then he sees Odessa Zion's character. I forget her character's name, but she's pregnant. He sees her, and then
Yeah.
he sees like her hubby, and then he's like running from the cops like out the back. I think that those were like my favorite sequences in the movie because they just felt like you were like right there, like the way the camera like moves and everything.
Yeah, it's very like chaotic camera work and everything. It is funny too, like just you're like you go to the gas station and make it murders a couple people, and then it, like
Nothing got some
that,
milk, yeah, right?
yeah, that describes the point that we had just made like 5 or 10 minutes ago. Like, yeah, let's go pick up murders, and then we move on, and then he goes to this, and then,
Yeah, it's one of those movies where truly, if you like get up and go to the bathroom, you might like miss like a whole thing. Like you might be like, "Why are they looking for this dog? Like, what is going on?" Like, yeah,
yeah. I did. You're talking about your favorite scenes there. I think those were awesome. So chaotic. I mean, the whole movie's chaotic too, but I did really like when they had to go back to that house for the dog, because for a brief moment I was like, this is a horror movie. Like I thought that was really interesting, just how like scary that scene was, you know, where they go back with Abel Ferrero's character as Ezra, I think, and it's dark, and you already know because they had been there before. You already know that the person inside is dangerous. And you know that the person they are with is dangerous because you've already seen them like in the park, like stabbing someone, you know. So I thought that scene was really cool in the sense that like it felt like a part of the movie that almost like entered a new genre, and then it kind of flipped.
right, yeah. It was like briefly like horror, like what Deliverance like type of vibes, like where you just like have this like random crazy redneck who like clearly has their dog. They know it's their dog. And this guy's like, no, it's mine now. Like, you know, and they go back there, and you remember the house, and you remember everything with that, and so you know when they're creeping up on that house again that they are in for a very bad time. And then, like you said, it kind of like is a horror movie for like a little bit, and like you're yelling at the screen like, Marty, like hurry up, get that money, like go back, dude. Like that was like a very like dangerous scene. I thought that was really good. And you're right, all they were missing for a little Deliverance reference was a little banjo, kid playing banjo. What did you think of the spanking scene with Mr. Wonderful at the end?
I think it was funny, I guess. You know, afterwards I saw that there was like a lot of discussion about that scene. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe I just didn't like look into it or like feel it the same, like to the same level of gravity that other people did. But like, you know, I kind of think he like deserved it in a sense. Like, it doesn't like, you know, that's such an unrealistic way to like punish someone in front of people, I think, in real life, but maybe the 1950s were just different like that. But yeah, no, I guess they just spanked people in front of their friends, you know. But I thought it was like, I thought it was funny in that way, and I thought like in a sense it was deserved, because like he was a real like jerk to everyone up to that point, and really he's a big jerk to Mr. Rockwell because of what he's doing behind his back, you know, like.
Did you pick up on what Gwyneth Paltrow's character was crying about at the end, or did I miss something there?
Oh, I think it was maybe like a family member had died or something.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't get a sense of what that was about.
I don't know. I could be totally off on that. I guess I also didn't really like pick up on it, so maybe my brain just filled in the gaps. Now I'm thinking about it, like, could it have been like a call about like a bad review for the?
That's what I thought it maybe was, because he was like, "Oh, you gotta talk to this like presser or whatever." It just seemed like really random, and like they wanted me to wonder about it. Like it was like they were purposely trying to be vague. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel that way. Honestly, my brain might have filled in those gaps. I guess I have no idea what the call was about. I don't think I do, but you know, like what you just said, I kind of feel that her character overall is like a bit vague, you know, like she's kind of like you don't ever get to know much about her or her like motivations, like really why she likes him so much.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't really like him, but she like does, you know. Other than
it's like a strange dynamic, because like they didn't really have like great chemistry, like in that sense, and then like in their conversations to each other, just as characters, they almost seem like they loathed each other at times. So it was an interesting dynamic.
I guess I don't fully get it, but other than just like, you know, he has so much charisma, so like why not, you know, like if
he's Timothy Chalamet, I mean
he's Timothy Chalamet, like, and if your husband is Mr. Rockwell, like the jet-setting businessman, like I guess if someone with a lot of like youth and charisma comes in, you're probably just like enamored by them, you know. And I guess that like he does like help her, like he encourages her in a sense. I mean, he's also like very bad to her in other ways, but like he tries to steal her jewelry and all that. But like he does, like he gives her confidence, right? Like he tells her to like get back into acting, and so
well, it's like she's like mirroring him, or like that's I think that's what they're going for, right? Is that like she's the Marty years from now.
Oh, I like that. I really like that.
I just kind of came upon this, like hearing you talk about it, but like, but like, I think that might be it, where it's like, that's like her purpose as far as the story goes, is to be, and she kind of says some things to him along the way, like, hey, what are you going to do when this ping pong shit doesn't work out? You know, and you know, because she's been there, like she's had, now she's on stage with these guys who don't even know how to act and everything like that. Like, what's going to happen with you?
Let me ask you something. Do you make money at this little table tennis thing?
Not yet.
Do you have a job?
No.
Backhand, forehand.
How do you live?
Well, I live with the confidence if I believe in myself, the money will follow.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
That doesn't even enter my consciousness.
Maybe it should.
you know, and everything. So it's like I wonder if there's any other characters like that in the movie who kind of like represent that arc in a different way. But like, yeah, now that I think about it, they're kind of closely related in that sense.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, like she's she's some sort of like reflection of him, I guess. Yeah, like she went through what he's going through or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, her character was very interesting that way. I guess her character is kind of like, it's up to you to figure out like exactly like what that dynamic is and why they work in a weird way.
Yeah. And so the whole movie, like at a certain point, is about him trying to get this money, one for a plane ticket. He also has to like pay this fine for acting crazy when he lost like the first match. He gets there, they tell him like you're not even gonna go to the real match. You're gonna have like this little promotional match right here where you're gonna take a dive, by the way. You're gonna lose. And that's all you're gonna get pretty much. And you just like see the devastation on his face and you feel it. Like as an audience member, you're just like, are you fucking kidding me? I just like did all this shit to get to Japan. What do you mean? Like I can't, you know? And you feel that. And then he decides that he is okay. You said no? Well, I say no to you. Fuck you. Like, I'm gonna find a way to, like, get what I want in, like, some way or the other. And he has, like, this final match. And just, like, the choreography, the shots, they were insane, Hayden.
Yeah, it was. It was very, like, that felt really, truly high stakes. You know, because a lot of the other things in the movie that he goes through, it feels like there may be high stakes, but, like, they're kind of, like, his fault. And they're like not really fully related to like his end goal, but this scene at the end of the movie is actually like his end goal, whether it really was or not. I know his real goal was to like go to the championship, but like, you know, really internally he just wanted to be the best and like prove to himself that he was the best and prove to all these other people along the way that doubted him or like got in his way, so to speak, that he was the best. But yeah, the energy in that sequence there was very it was very high, you know, and like everybody shouting after each point, and like you see the other guy like he's starting to sweat, whereas like in the match before he like never sweat, he like never seemed to like really have to like take it that serious, and like now he is. So yeah, it was very exciting.
And I think because it didn't follow the trajectory of like a regular sports movie, because it did take this detour into being something else, when you were at that scene at the end, you were like more invigorated as an audience member because you're like, dude, I haven't watched ping pong in a pretty fucking long time, you know?
Yeah.
Ping pong, like in a good way, right? And then you're like rejuvenated by like this whole scene and this whole movie that has like not gone the way of a regular movie at all is going to go the way of a regular movie at the end here, but it feels earned in a way where like other movies don't feel like that earned because we didn't have like the generic montage sequence and everything like that.
Yeah, it's almost like it took a alternate route to get to the same place, you know.
Right.
But yeah, but it almost is like more rewarding in that sense because it took this strange route with all of these little like subplots along the way and all of this drama and the murders and whatever, you know.
Yeah, no. And that was like, it almost felt like, you know, he does this, he doesn't win any money. He just wins the match. He really just wins, like, and that's like enough for him. And it seems like after that he just like turns a switch and is like a regular like human again. And he's like you know, he's like sobbing at the end, like meeting his baby. And that was kind of like the moment for me where I was like, okay, this character has kind of redeemed himself in my eyes. Like, you could make the argument that Robert Pattinson's character does that in Good Time as well, you know, because he turns himself in it, but that happens all off screen, right? We don't see that. You know, with this, we see like the redemption, even if the redemption is just tears and just being there, like, you know, the most basic thing, like, because he wasn't going to be there before, but now he's there, you know.
Yeah, it is really interesting. Yeah, I guess like talking about the end of the movie now, it does, there's like this redemption arc and you kind of like you feel for him, I guess, but at the same time too, it's like, man, you know, was it all worth it, you know? Because I guess in the end, like what was most important to him was actually something moral. It was like his family essentially, and so you're kind of like, well, like, did you have to hurt so many people along the way? You know,
You maybe
like
not spray gasoline on them. And like,
yeah, exactly. You know, it's like it's kind of like, oh, you're a good guy now, which is good, but at the same time, like, can you really be forgiven for like being a bad guy for like the whole like length of the movie, you know, through all the stuff that you went through? I think it's really, but I like that though. I like that the end is almost like it feels like it's up to the viewer's choice of like, do you forgive him or do you not? And I would assume people just have different opinions about that, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I think that, like, I don't know, I think my stance on, like, the whole thing is that, like, people are flawed, like, you know, and people are going to do some fucked up stuff. They're going to be good people some of the time, and they're going to be, like, really bad people the other time. And, you know, I really like this movie overall. You know, I've been hearing, like, movie of the year. It's definitely, like, up there for me. Where do you think it, like, ranks for you, Hayden, in terms of, like, movies this year?
Yeah, good question. I liked it a lot. It's not the movie of the year for me personally. I don't really know what is. This is a smaller movie, but like I think my favorite movie of this year was Twinless. If you saw
Oh
that.
my god, that was so good with Dylan O'Brien. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
But like I don't know. Is that up for any awards? I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it has been. And let me just put this out there: Dylan O'Brien needs an Oscar nomination. His performance in this movie, he plays like two different characters at one point. He has one of the best monologues I've seen in a movie in like a really long time. Yeah, Twinless is great if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah, he's incredible in that, and I just love that movie. It was so twisty-turny and dark, and like, so. Anyways, yeah, I don't know where I would rank this, where I'd rank Marty Supreme, but I liked it a lot. But to me, it's not movie of the year. But I also don't know. I don't have an answer for what I think is. I liked Sinners a lot. I liked Weapons. I liked Marty Supreme. I love Twinless, but I know that's not going to be up for anything. If it was, that's where I would probably put at the top. I heard Hamnet was great, but I didn't see it, so I don't know.
One Battle After Another. What did you think of?
Oh yes, I did. I like that a lot too. Yeah, I don't know. That's another movie. I feel like One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, Sinners, like for me are all somewhere in the top of the year, as they are all like nominated movies too. But I don't know what I would pick of them. What would you pick?
Honestly, I think this was up there. I really liked Weapons, though. I felt like the way it ended was like just so gnarly and everything. If you guys haven't seen Weapons, I just felt like the way it just, I don't know. It like, honestly, when it was done, I was like, this is like the new Exorcist. Like, I literally had that thought in my head where I'm like, 20 years from now, people might watch this movie and be like, what the fuck were they on? Like, this was some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I liked Weapons a lot too. Yeah, I guess I would. It's also not like the top for me, but I did really like it.
Bring Her Back too. I don't know if you've seen that horror movie, but
yes.
That was probably one of my top ones.
Bring Her Back was awesome. I really like that one. That's maybe my favorite horror of the year. That I really don't think this spoils it. I guess if you haven't seen this, maybe tune out for a second.
Yeah,
but I think that Bring Her Back had the best hit by a car scene ever. Like, you know, like that to me, because I mean, so many movies. How many movies in the history of cinema has someone been hit by a car? But that one rocked me. I was like, oh shit! Like it just looked and felt and sounded so real, and it was like so visceral. So anyways, I nominate, if there's a new Oscar category, best hit by a car scene, I nominate Bring Her Back, because I would rewatch that movie just to see that scene again. It was so brutal.
You heard it here first, everybody. Hayden nominates Bring Her Back for best car hit in a movie ever. Hot takes coming at you. But yeah, I really like Marty Supreme. I would say 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. That's what I would say.
Yeah, good. I think I might, on Letterboxd, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. And so, yeah, it's similar, you know, like a really solid movie, a great one on the year.
What do you
Definitely
think
one I would
kept it
recommend.
from being that 5, from that 4.5? For you?
I think for me, it's unfortunately just the fact that it didn't live up to Uncut Gems. I think, and so like, and that's a really unfair thing because it's not meant to be a comparison. I don't think, but like, I think that I just like hold Uncut Gems so high that, and this was so similar, and by like one of the brothers who did Uncut Gems, that like I almost like felt like I couldn't help but compare it, and so it to me it just maybe didn't have the swagger and the stakes that I felt Uncut Gems had. But still, I really enjoyed it, and I did think like at the times the stakes felt high. I thought the acting was great, production. So yeah, I definitely still recommend it. But that's probably for me what keeps it from being a 4 or 5 or something like that.
That's very fair. All right, well, guys, this was our review. Hayden, before we go, one last question for you. What is your go-to movie snack when you go to the movies?
I mean, probably popcorn, to be honest. Yeah. Although sometimes I will like get just whatever the candy is up at front. I mean, it could be like Skittles or like Sour Patch Kids or something. But if I had one choice, it'd be popcorn.
And yeah, it's AMC, right?
AMC, yeah, AMC A-list. That's Andy and I take a lot of pride in being being AMC A-listers.
Yes.
And what about you for your snack?
Oh, for me, I'm a big hot dog guy. I have to. I have to
wow.
get a hot dog at the movies. Like if I go to a baseball game, I have to get a hot dog. Big hot dog guy. Yeah.
So just events in general, you just got to get a hot dog.
Yeah. If I'm leaving the house, I have to have a hot dog in my hand.
Hot dog. Hey, the hot dog here, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I'm like the "I think you should leave now" sketch where he has the hot dog. That's me just every day when I leave my house.
Gotta find the guy who did this.
Oh my gosh. Well, Hayden, thank you so much for coming on, man. This was really cool, and I think a little bit of a surprise, a nice treat for my viewers out there. So I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks. This was great. I really appreciate you reaching out to me, and I love talking about movies. I'm so happy to do it, and I enjoyed this conversation a lot.
Well, thanks so much for you guys for watching. Hayden, do you want them to follow you? Do you want to give out your social or like?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. It's just an Instagram. It's Hayden Yah. It's HaydenYah. So yeah, if you want to follow me there, sure. Yeah.
And do you offer coaching? Like if someone wants to reach out to you, are they able to be coached by Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like theoretically, like I do private training, like personal training. That's my job. So yeah,
Have
if
you ever
anyone
had a
was,
Big Brother fan reach out to you?
not like seriously, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I guess I would be like possibly open to it, but yeah, no, I do personal training. That's what I do. So if you are interested in fitness stuff, sure, you can ask me some questions or whatnot. So.
All right, very cool. Well, you guys can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can always follow me on Instagram, Broseph Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us for this review. Thank you, Hayden, again. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I don't think you understand the stakes here.
You find that funny? I get nervous laughter sometimes.
My eyes broke, or is that Mouse, baby?
Thank you so much. You're my pop. We believe in you.
Hey, I'll rip that unibrow right off his forehead!
You want to get physical? Like an ape?
Come on, he's right here!
Have you ever thought about what you're doing to me?
Give us our money!
When they do, I'll be right behind you. Everybody wants to know.
And it's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. You think it's that simple?
Yeah, I do.
Everybody wants to know.
This is my plan, this is my plan!